Hello and welcome back to Irish Football Fan TV. Here are 5 players that I think really need a move for the sake of their careers this summer. Starting at number 1 with Caoimhin Kelleher, a very obvious one. Looks like he is about to leave Liverpool. It looks as though he's set to join someone else. It remains to be seen who that's going to be, but some clubs that I would like to see him maybe join. I've seen Juventus have been linked with him previously. I think that could be a good move for him. I also think Chelsea would be a very good move for him. So I think either of those two, or somewhere maybe on the continent, could be good for him. Because if I look at the Premier League, I think Chelsea's the only real good fit there, or maybe a Bournemouth. But Bournemouth are always kind of one of those yo-yo clubs where they can be up mid-table or down towards the relegation. So I think Kelleher should be looking for a Chelsea or maybe Juventus, in my opinion, or someone like that, of that sort of ilk, European placed sort of club. Number 2, Evan Ferguson. I think he's really, really struggled at West Ham. He struggled for minutes. The Premier League is unforgiving, and if he's not at a 8 or a 9 out of 10 every single time he's playing, he's going to struggle. Unfortunately, as I said, the Premier League is very unforgiving, and it's not a place where you can kind of learn your trade, maybe like a Bundesliga or the Championship or something like that. So I do think that Evan Ferguson's next move, whether that's a loan or a permanent deal, I think he needs to get away from the spotlight. So I think somewhere like a Bundesliga, a Leverkusen, could be a great move for him to go next season and be away from all the kind of noise of England, the media, and obviously Ireland and the media as well. People thinking that he's a flop because he's not scoring goals and stuff like that for West Ham, even though he's not been given minutes. I think it's been a terrible move, and it really hasn't worked out for him, unfortunately. So I do think I'd like to see Evan go to a Bundesliga club or somewhere like that where it's worked out for Troy Parrott in that sense, to get away from all the spotlight and just focus on the football and not worry about any of the media sort of stuff. Number 3, Jason Knight. I think it's about time he left Bristol City. He's the club captain there, and maybe got into a Premier League team. Everton have sent scouts to look at him. I think that could be a really good move for Jason Knight if he was to join Everton, part of David Moyes' rebuild of the club, moving into a new stadium. We've got Jake O'Brien there, Seamus Coleman should be staying in some capacity there, and I'm sure would be selling the club to Jason Knight if that was the case. I think Jason Knight's a fabulous midfield. I think he's started every game so far this season for Bristol. I think he's the only outfield player to do that. I think he would bring something to Everton, and obviously another Premier League player then for the Irish squad, and I think that will only prove vital for us going forward if that was to be the case. So I think Everton would be a perfect club, or maybe a Crystal Palace. I could see him going maybe somewhere like that as well. So I think of the two, I'd be happy to see them, and I am an Everton fan myself, so I'd like to see him join the Toffees. Number 4, it might surprise you, but Troy Parrott, he's had an amazing season at AZ Alkmaar, 20 odd goals now this season. The season's not over yet, so he will probably finish with some more, and I think that he could really go and progress now. I think I've watched him a few times at AZ this season, and it looks as though he's a frustrated figure in that side, because a lot of the time he spends waiting for the ball to get up to the box and then to be the one to kind of finish it off after he's kind of like, I suppose, he's involved in the build-up play and then is supposed to be the one on the end of it. But I just feel like as though he's playing with wingers that are really frustrating, who are also learning on the job, who their final ball isn't always great, and you can see at times Troy gets frustrated. But for the amount of goals that he's got this season, and I think he's really found a good level, and I think he could even level up, and I think somewhere like an Ajax could be a really good move for him if he is to go and move. I think that would be the one that makes sense. He lives in Amsterdam, and they're pretty much the biggest club in Holland. If you're thinking of clubs that you would know, probably them and PSV. So yeah, I think it would be a good move if he went to Ajax, and if he did stay at AZ, I wouldn't be against it as well, in terms of he's still developing, but I do think he is ready to take the next step if needs be to a bigger club. And then last but not least, Dara O'Shea. I think Dara O'Shea has proven over the last number of seasons, despite a few relegations, I don't think they're primarily his fault, but I do think Dara O'Shea has proven that he's a Premier League defender, and I don't think that he'll have a problem getting suitors for his signature. And a club like maybe Wolves, he's obviously lived in the Midlands before, playing with West Brom, and he was captain there as well. He lived there for a long time as well, so he'd know the area well there. I think them, or maybe a Crystal Palace, or maybe like a Fulham because we know that Dara, although he's quite a good leader defensively, he's also very good with his feet as well. So he can play out from the back, and he can play numerous positions along the back four there, as a left back, as a right back, centre half, and so on. So I do think it would make sense for Darragh OShea. He's gonna be relegated now. The club's been relegated, but there's still obviously a few games left in the Premier League season. But Burnley were really resigned to lose him. Scott Parker didn't want to lose him, and he joined Ipswich. They've been relegated, so I do think that if his agent was smart about things, that he possibly put in a relegation clause or something like that, so he's not stuck there. And look, I think it could be a handy way for Ipswich to cash in on him as well, because they'll probably have to offload now that they're back in the Championship. So that's been 5 players. Let me know what you think in the comments. Is there anyone that you think additionally to that should move for the sake of their career as well? I'll speak to you all soon. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and take care.